Good Friday morning, everyone, and welcome to the News Now. I'm Cyria Sandlin. Hope your day's off to a great start. If you missed us on Daybreak, we're going to get you caught up on everything you need to know this Friday morning. We are live right now on WTOC.com, our news app, Amazon Fire, Roku, Twitter, and of course, Facebook. Well, in the last hour, Hurricane Florence has officially arrived, making landfall near Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina. We want to show you right now a live look. This is Wilmington, just 10 minutes from the beach. You can see a reporter there standing by to do his live shot. The conditions there, pretty intense. And right now we want to check in with our meteorologist, Cutter Martin, to see how our conditions are locally and what Florence is doing.
Basically, it is inland, still some ocean influence there, but making landfall very near Wrightsville Beach, the Wilmington area, about 7:15 this morning. The eye, it's kind of wobbling around as it interacts with land. Generally a west-northwest, maybe more of a west-southwest motion now, but definitely impacting or being impacted by land there. The conditions improving, hopefully in Wilmington soon, briefly, and then worse conditions, southeasterly flow, dumping even more water into the already storm surge soaked areas of coastal North Carolina. Worst conditions expected here shortly within the PD of South Carolina. No big changes at 8 a.m. with the forecast track or current conditions. Still packing sustained winds at 90 miles per hour. Moving west though at 6. No longer west northwest, maybe now just south of due west. That general motion expected to continue into the South Carolina Midlands here. Even early Sunday morning still in South Carolina. The worst conditions on the north and on the northeast side of this track. So that is relatively good news, being south of that center of circulation. Still going to see some impacts here this weekend. Today, warm, mostly dry, increasingly breezy, plenty of sunshine. It's going to be a gorgeous day out there overall, even at the beaches. Not too bad, but remember, ocean conditions going to be becoming increasingly agitated. Rip current risk is extremely high. Tomorrow, windy, scattered rain, mainly north of I-16. Breezy Sunday, scattered rain. We could have some isolated power outages, maybe a couple of limbs come down in the low country, but overall weather issues expected to remain relatively minimal. I'm going to break down the impacts now for you. Florence passing to our north as a weakening tropical storm by the time we get into the weekend. Gusts to 40 miles per hour likely in isolated spots, but severe wind gusts, heavy rain causing flooding, and coastal flooding, the risk of those factors very, very low. So no huge changes to the forecast overnight. We're going to maintain that forecast of impactful winds possible, isolated power outages, couple limbs come down, primarily low country areas north of I-16, south of the Altamaha River, Jessup, Waycross, Odom, over to Coffee, Jeff Davis counties. Little, if any, impact whatsoever from Florence, but that impact will increase just a little bit as you cross the Altamaha and then especially the Savannah Rivers as we get into Saturday afternoon through midday Sunday. Something that may impact some weekend plans. We'll be keeping you updated, of course, WTOC.com and the WTOC weather app, and here on the news at daybreak coming up at noon as well. Cyria.
All right, thank you very much, Cutter. Well, we also have lots of new video coming in from the Carolinas. This is of the damage Florence has already caused in some parts of North Carolina. This is from Jacksonville, where heavy rain is falling. Lots of tree limbs and debris are scattered around in parking lots and roadways. Also, we want to take a look at video from Wilmington. Crews from our WECT sister station shot this video of a tree split in half. That area also dealing with major flooding. Let's go down to the South Carolina coast right now, taking a live look into Myrtle Beach. They're not getting the same amount of rain as North Carolina, much more pleasant there, but they are getting some strong wind already. The outer bands of Florence started affecting North Carolina last night, and it's still churning off the coast there. The eye wall now has landed. About an hour away from that in Georgetown County, South Carolina, the wind and rain is already picking up. We're going to go to Colby Satterfield for a look at the conditions there.
We're starting to get some daylight here in Georgetown, and we're starting to see just how windy it is. Our light stand, we've had to have someone on constant standby just to make sure it doesn't topple over. The rain has been coming and going. Right now it's settled down, but the winds have been picking up. You can walk with me here and you can see it just looks like a ghost town this morning. We're starting to see a few people come out though and walk their dogs, but emergency officials are urging people that once the storm starts really picking up to stay inside because crews will not be able to get out there and rescue them. Also, the message this morning, I reached out to emergency officials here in Georgetown County, stay inside. Again, once the storm starts, the hospitals have closed here in Georgetown County. Another reason that they're hoping people either evacuated or got to a shelter. Again, we are in Georgetown County in South Carolina, where there is currently a hurricane warning. For the Raycom News Network, I'm Colby Satterfield.
Like we've said, the Carolinas really been feeling the impacts of Hurricane Florence, and many people in our area now ready for possible effects that storm could bring. People have had several days to get ready. Our Zach Logan is live right now on Hilton Head Island this morning. So Zach, what is it like out there? You're on the beach.
Hey, Saria, it's a beautiful beach morning here on Hilton Head Island. It's really hard to believe that there is a hurricane just to the north of us. I've been watching people all morning long kind of walk along the shore, walk their dogs, maybe get a quick run in. So a lot of people are actually enjoying the beach, and this is probably the only beach that you'll be able to enjoy in the state of South Carolina, at least for the next few days as Hurricane Florence continues. Now, just because we are seeing nice conditions right now doesn't mean that we could possibly see some kind of impact from Hurricane Florence, at least within the next 36 hours. So residents here on the island, visitors, businesses, they all say that they are prepared just in case we see something. They've had all week to kind of prepare. We know that residents in Beaufort were busy packing sandbags, getting those in place just in case they needed to put them in front of their doors. We also saw several businesses along Hilton Head Island go ahead and board up their walls and their doors and windows just in case they were needed. Now, we are continuing to still monitor these conditions. We are checking in with the Beach Patrol here on Hilton Head Island, as well as city officials on the island, as well as Beaufort and Jasper County. So we'll continue to check in with them, and if any new updates come up, we'll be sure to bring them to you both on air and online at WTOC.com. Reporting live on Hilton Head Island, Zach Logan, WTOC News.
South Carolina Emergency Management says they have plenty of space in their shelters for people evacuating Hurricane Florence. More than 4,000 people are staying in the 66 evacuation shelters that are open. The agency says there's room for 37,000 more, and 16 more shelters are on standby if needed. One of the biggest concerns about Hurricane Florence is power outages. There's already a few thousand people without power up in North Carolina. Let's take a look at our area. SCE&G not reporting any outages this morning. That's good, and the company is working hard to keep it that way through the weekend. SCE&G always has a store of backup supplies, but they've been bringing in even more because of the forecast. Florence has the potential to impact all of the company's territory and could linger over us for a while. They're relying on you to let them know where to respond.
It's so important for customers to report their outages to us, as we may get a large circuit of customers restored very quickly. There may be customers with individual damage at their individual homes, and we're not going to be aware of that unless that outage is reported to us.
Well, there's no way to guess how many of their 730,000 customers will lose power, but they promise workers will work around the clock to restore power as soon as it's safe to do so. Well, about 1,200 U.S. flights scheduled for Thursday and Friday have been canceled. In fact, some airports in the Carolinas are just essentially shut down. So far, the number of canceled flights is relatively small and could increase. None of the flights coming into or going out of Savannah Hilton Head International have been affected by Florence at this time, but keep checking your airline. Well, if you need anything this weekend, South Carolina's emergency helpline is active around the clock. If you have questions related to Hurricane Florence, you can call the state's public information system. That is 1-866-246-0133. We also have this number on the Hurricane Center of WTOC.com. You can also find a list of businesses and schools and offices that are closed today. Savannah-Chatham County Public Schools are closed today, as are Beaufort, Jasper, Colleton, and Hampton's 1st and 2nd District. There are also several private schools closed. We have all that information on our website and mobile app. The listings are scrolling at the bottom of your screen as well. A lot of you joining us this morning, saying hello, checking in. I want to say hello to some of you too. A lot of you asking about the weather situation for us locally, and it's not going to be as bad as the situation we are seeing in North Carolina or some of the counties in South Carolina. Of course, we are going to stay with you all morning long. Cutter is going to be doing live updates for us on CBS This Morning, so you can flip your TV back on, watch that. He'll have your forecast. And of course, we'll be back at 10 a.m. with another update. If you have any more questions, leave me a comment. We'll get back to you. Have a great day, everyone.